and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonics Money Transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services.
Gambian Talents Promotion.
Jaliba Manding.
Animpana mo million jama wale pengo ke kabolo bai ngoro kan ndejali ba fere ninja lolu nada kanyin senenda
Jali nene suso Mandinka
Fankanta manjawia se fankanta yesi nyolu kanta Ninna fa fomu fankanto leti alunata
Diekndau wala
ngidomu adama vaccine nan corona lu amla fagaro gen fajo ajalel ñu dem vaccine moy li ñuy
Lena Jola
Pengu way engole no ekan wajupo de nilaya ubaj moja COVID-19 Pengu way engole no esontene bare petanga
Sora Jali Mandinka Rich
Jankaroni manisa Alina katanga vaccine onyinta Soyons sérieux avec ces vaccins Si on se donne la main Facile t'en gagner courant
Mandinka
Alingata Me vaccine me batuka Allah Alingata Wale bentangala Na Alingata Me vaccine me batuka Allah Alingata Wale bentangala
Tata Dinding Mandinka
Pengota nyinay Pengota wala yandandi Kama koi kan
Fula
imi ime yeto yemo leki kingarija nagor kuma debo ime joni mundandai
Jakos Manjago
konora ninja legi yang kabu kobula itope yakajeji bingua yakapurpu kaburu
Aliu Badara Wolof
kuni anga warugal jiliye janto bihar vaccine ama jogal jeli ko wow ala sunure
Sambu Suso Mandinka
Ani vaccinota ni mobe matantul mankana alinganji jambe yaka ule ben tangana
Pambu Wolof
vaccination bi ñëw na ci suñu réew ñum jëli ko war nañu ku ko jëlul doo am visa ngir dugg ci benn réew ndax dañoo bañ corona tasaaro
Wolof
kay len ñu jëli ko vaccine bi ñu doon xaar kay len ñu jëli ko mooy li ñuy aar kay len ñu jëli ko vaccine bi ñu doon xaar kay len ñu jëli ko mooy li ñuy aar
Papa Wolof Singate Sarahule
Usuna buto COVID pengo haga kinye Usuna pengo ona pengo Ye jangaro la wai seren karni de
Barhama Wolof
vaccine bidu gagné te vaccine bidu lorke amna ñu ne da fay wañi nit ñi du dëgg de garab bi du loo
Ami Socé wolof
askan wi génn leen ñu pengu jee fagarlu moo gan fa jooyaay mooy li ñuy
ci jaaji pengu waja
It's Jill Life Music.
yeah bala vaccine jawal get vaccinated before it's too late vaccine jawal get vaccinated no need to hesitate before it's too late can do love for say pour le faju why gis garab baña faju ku ci denga xaru suñ waref la pour ñu jog aaru ndax ñu daan feebar bi li le mo raw fa kaaru get vaccinated pour nga aaru from getting COVID ar sa bopp ak sa dëkkandoo ba kenn du si jël ko mooy lu war suñ buggee end this pandemic everything they look normal bye bye to COVID I know some ngole no tatay coronavirus but I know some bad kairai di coronavirus jichoji pengu waja pengu berambe nora jakniti penora we virus ay epengu way free efimoro jichoji pengu waja berambe nora Sasa man silong besa sotono movi mokoi besa sotono fankanta kurto monie buka farano foisi fantanka ye vaccine sonota kamodo lutanka besa sotono
Dara porkondara de boyo Dara maudo dara pai kunjoni Dara balendara porto jo jaka Dara mardo dara basudo Ime pengo de Dande ore men dande fai bebe jaka Gare
ko bala fa kana balan kuma ke solle ko balanna dunia be ba soronding mo buka dung mo buka ta buka na
vaccine bi ñëw na dawal jëli ko boo ko jëlulee lor ña nga nekkal aaral say xarit aar say dëkkandoo dawal gaaw balaa jeex waaw
dégg na mag ñi naan ndëccu na fekk jëf wees dawal gaaw bul toog di xaar lii doy na waa fagaru na dellu maa leen corona bi metti na gaa yi moytu leen
fagaru na dellu maa leen corona bi metti na gaa yi moytu leen
ke vaccine ke Kenya soronda nga military angana mpate nga corona kata ya anakari idada handi do dunasu ya awagambi kari ona corona ke ona kari
anen yo nene vaccine den ko jelal manu men yo nenen ko emen lady men yimbe men di mimbaki lo den liwen o nyaw bondo lady men yo vaccine den ndanyu kura ngo keleno lancho ni mange kelenti ndanyu kura ngo bainola ningani yolo mange kelenti bala fabel ngola bala u balimbe bota fasakile ngola bala u kanyu kura ngo baimbala fa tabakino bengo dumbala jamali manzai jamali fa anikati malani kura ngola jamali niye pengu jadi solola malani kura ngola jamali kule ko kodi nyine rangodum malani kura ngola ngadenni ngola ko vaccine ota sadankani kura ngola
fumne dara doxatut ku ne am soxla bëgg a gis mu faju no hesitation dawal jël commences bul aju lembe aduna besun fit du toog but we can't stay home cause we gotta go to work get vaccinated to knock it out get our normal lives back we can't walk it out
si fouda dali o nyau kasali pia ma vaccine wope jabali bone o nyau ala monanali kodi ha porte pale ani wadi ha bedo ani sida vaccine ana ko yareno bayna fo nyetti o vaccine jod ko kale yoreno edindi labi ko dundon ko fewndo coronavirus no wodi o nyawo no fewndi rene ngore mo ko dundon wadi ko be yewti yaga nen bi ko toy legi am nafi yaga nen bi ko har legi exina neñu def li ñu war febar bi je vaccine bi am na fi gën leen manak yow kii keley ñepp war na leen ar mag ñi ak ndaw ñi suñu yaay ak baay fagaru gën faju xam nga loolu ñi mu rey bari nañ mu jati amin
No white ñaan na ci boole wér gi yaram waay ndax moo lay tax a bànneexoo nit yi dematuñ business yi doxatuñ kenn kafatut dafa mel ni sax time bi léegi sax doxatul soo na noon feebar mooy sa noon yaay waaye du vaccine bi cause vaccine bi mooy garab bi di saafara lii
kura woy anala bori kura woy anala bori doctorol fan le konkana sila woy talinga pengu doctorol fan le konkana sila woy mobe pengu kura woy anala bori kura woy anala bori doctorol fan le konkana sila woy alinga pengu doctorol fan le konkana sila woy como be pengu
alinga pengo COVID COVID como be pengo COVID COVID boy alinga pengo COVID COVID boy como be pengo.
Brought to you by Gambian Talents Promotion.
ñëwal fii nga xam ne mooy Banjul pour fekkee li nga xam ne mooy indo feebar bu nga xam ne ñoom ñoo ko nekk di taxawal ñu ne pour mu stop kon nag ku bëgg lu leer na dugga biir Gambia Talent TV seen page bi di ngeen xam lépp lu leer gars yi ñoo nekk noonu nag di maaj dañ bëgg a stop li nga xam ne mooy feebar bu nga xam ne mooy indo gars yi ñu ngi noonu ñoom ñoo nekk di maaj noonu si kanamee nag dinañ dem waxtaan ak ñi nga xam ne nag ñoo organise li nga xam ne mooy feebari indo bi pour ñu stop ko lu mu yaaga rek loo leen bugga rek dugaleen suñu page bi dinañ leen ko woon waaw ñi ñang ñoo nekk xale student yi nga xam ne ñoo nekk di dimbale gaay si supporting bi gaay ñu ngi noonu nag different school ñoo ñëw pour support gaay
Can you hear me from there? Okay, good morning to everyone. My name is Jenna Basonko. I work with QTV Gambia, but I'm not wearing that hat today. I'm not wearing the hat of QTV Gambia today. Today, I'm wearing the hat of emceeing the second edition of the Endometriosis Walk. Let's just say the Endometriosis Walk 2022. But before I delve into the program, it is customary that in the Gambia, before we do anything, we get to pray in our individual ways. So let's pray in our individual ways, and after that, we will have the police band help us with the Gambia national anthem. Let's pray in our individual ways. Amin. Yal na yàlla nangu ñaan. Now we can have the police band go with the Gambia national anthem. Thank you so much. All right, a round of applause for our police band. Thank you so much. Good morning to all of you. My name is Jenna Basonko, and I'll be your MC for this particular program today. I am so excited to be here. Aside from professionally standing in front of you to moderate this, I am quite emotional as well because I've been there when the journey started, where Fatu came to Gambia at that point in time. no one knew what endometriosis was, and she decided to change the narrative. So I'm excited to be part of this journey. But before we delve into the program proper, let's recognize the presence of Usman Silla, who is the National Assembly member for Banjul North. Honorable, it might be unprofessional in my capacity as a journalist to talk about you, but like I said, today I'm not standing here as a journalist. You are an individual who is always answering to the call of national development. That is something that we know about you, ranging from health to youth empowerment, you name it. On a daily basis, we see the work that you are doing, and we really, really appreciate it. And for the fact that you've left all your busy schedules to join us today for the endometriosis work and symposium 2022. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Yeah, so let's say the talking is not on my side today because we have a packed program and we do not want to leave you here for too long. So considering that, we will just go by the program guide and what we have. But like I mentioned, prior to the coming of Let's Fight Endometriosis in the Gambia, endometriosis as a disease was completely new. We knew nothing about it. But 2 years to 3 years down the line, we see that that narrative is changing and people now understand what the disease is about. And we also have to acknowledge the team, considering the fact that this year the concentration is on school-going children. Because when you are trying to address a problem, it starts from the grassroots. And we've seen that really that is what the team is doing this time. So a round of applause to the students. This is your program today. We decided not to involve any other sector but the students because we feel like you have a responsibility to go back to your respective schools and educate other young people. So thank you so much for being able to make it here. So moving on, according to the program guide, we have we were supposed to have a performance by Zimba Group, but unfortunately we will. Yes, so unfortunately we would have to skip that. So do not be mad at me if I do not go by the program guide. Unfortunately, we might have to skip things as we go. So moving on, I'll be joined by Saini Sise, CEO of Safe Haven Foundation. Saini, thank you so much for being here and thank you so much for the work that you do. I know we're not here to thank each other today, but this is an opportunity for me to also thank people who are doing quite well in their respective sectors. Because this is a woman to whom infertility was not something she could come out and talk about, but she decided to smash patriarchy by coming out to talk about the issue of infertility on a daily basis and educating the masses. Thank you so much for the work that you do. We truly appreciate you.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. So instead of speaking in English, dama buga laka Olof pour explain feebar bi lan la dee def ci xale yu jigéen yi ba soo magee ak num la dee affecté at the end of the day ba doo ngay am jafe-jafe pour am doom. Endo dafa nekk loo xam ne condition la boo xam ne ñu bari ñu ngi koo dunda Gambia waaye xamuñ sax ne ñu ngi koo dunda because lim dee def mooy su dee danga ko am bi nga nekkee xale te teeluñ koo xam daf dee affect sa organ reproductive organs bi sa reproductive organs dafa am ñetti organs yoo xam ne dafa important torop pour yow soo nekkee mag nga war a try pour am doom nga war a mun a am doom soo amee endo teeluñ koo xam ñun nag suñ society ñun xaleel suy menstruate di gis période am muy métti dañ la dee ne yow da nga réew lii ñëpp a ngi koo dunda lan moo tax ngay tëdd si suuf di jooy wala ngay wóccu wala ngay xom am na ñoo xam ne dañoo gis seen période di xom loolu is a symptom of endo so yaay yi dañu war a bàyyi seen xel bu baax sa doom buy def loolu noonu muy gis période am muy métti bu baax a baax ba du mun a dem school wala du mun a dem liggéeyi you need to do something about it yóbbu ko si docteur yi ñu seet ko parce que boo ko yóbbu feebar bi def mooy dafa affect ovaries yi foofu la every month jigéen no let me speak in Wolof okay so lim dee def mooy every month jigéen soo waree gis sa period dafa am sa ovaries yi nen bu mu dee release su release nen boobu noonu bu matooyee si la ovulation day take place docteur bi dina explain in English waaye dama ko bëgg a faram fàcce in wolof parce que am na ñoo xam ne ñu ngi fi dégguñ English su affecté sa ovaries yi yow doo mun a am sa ovaries yi du mun a produce nen boo xam ne dafa mature pour ovulation mun a take place su affecté sa fallopian tubes yi sa fallopian tubes yi mooy organe bi nga xam ne yow jigéen bi bu egg bu ovaries yi release egg bi foofu la dem mun a tasee ak sa sperme jëkkër pour doom mun faa sosu daf koo block su ko bloqué doom gars yi duñ mun a mit even though suñ mitee foofu sax sa uterus bi su ko affecté fertilisation su amee sax moo dee waral miscarriages yu bari da ngaa gis ne jigéen yu bari ñu ngee dunda am feebar bi waaye dañ dee am miscarriages all the time léegi feebar bi dina dem ba nga xam ne sa ñetti organes yi daf ko dee def mu ñoom ñëpp ñu stick together nekk glue loolu yëpp métit la si jigéen so moo tax ñu jóg ne dañoo ñaxtu pour feebar bi soo ko amee tamit danga dee am hormonal imbalance mooy comme soo amee hormonal imbalance tey mun ngaa gis sa période à sa jigéen nga toog ay 3-4 months doo ko gisaat den mu ñëwaat xam naa ñu bari ñu ngi toog fii mais bi ñu ngi koo dunda loolu feebar bi daf ko dee def because sa FSH level si ak sa LH level si daf ko dee def mu dem du balance so da ngaa gis ne di nga am feebari ovulation di nga am difficulty pour ovulate di nga am difficulty pour gis sa période ak lu nekk so moo tax ñun as ndaw ñu ne duñ toog di seetaan lii because ñun suñ team bi am na ñaari sisters yoo xam ne ñu ngi koo dunda feebar bi dafa am 4 stages dafa am stage 1 stage 2 stage 3 stage 4 nim gën a xaayee noonu la gën a mun a yaaxee sa biir so pour si gàttal yaay yi nañ bàyyi seen xel bu baax a baax seen doom yi su ñoo gis seen période muy métti bu baax wala du loolu rek sax am na yeneen symptômes yoo xam ne daf dee cause infertility waaye tey endometriosis gis nga dafa difficult ba mënuma ko pronounce man te si loolu lay xeex feebar bi si boppam moo difficult te métti so ñu ngi leen a ñaax yéen ñëpp and the students too if you are seeing your period and it's really painful do not keep quiet about it talk to your moms tell them this is what you're feeling so that they can take you to the clinics and see what's going on because it's not always normal to be seeing your period and you're at the verge of fainting or vomiting all the time or you cannot even go to school so this is to you girls do not hide anything from your moms be open to your moms be open to your daughters whenever you notice something different with them try and talk to them we go to schools and we realize that a lot of moms do not talk to students yaay yi duñ dee waxtaan seen doom yi xale yu bari dañoo ñëw ne la man nii li ngeen explain nii dama ko dee go through wax nga sa yaay ñu ne déedéet te loolu warut a am yaay bu jigéen doom bu jigéen ak yaay dañ war a close ba nga xam ne amul dara loo xam ne dafa nekk seen diggante lu ñoo war a nëbbu wante be very open to your moms and moms yéen tamit soo gisee ñu oofi jigéen yi suñu yaay yi suñ tantay dañ bugga pour ñu gën a indiwaat suñu xel yi bu baax pour gën a téye suñ doom yi ñun suñ demee si school si day billahi dañ dee jooy xale yu bari dañ dee ñëw di wax ñoom lan lañ dee face but in private they don't talk about it to their moms or anybody because maybe yaay bi ëppunut bu baax pour moom pour mu war a ñëw wax ko lan moo koo métti so si gàttal rek ñun dañ do pour xeex feebar bi te dinañ def lépp loo xam ne moom lañ mun pour xeex feebar bi ba nga xam ne Gambia bépp jigéen wala bépp xale buy dem school xam nga di nga xam feebar bi di nga xam lan laa def di nga xam lan la laa jural at the end of the day soo magee thank you very much jërë ngeen jëf.
Thank you so much. Issues that communities, Gambians in general, feel like we should not discuss. So it seems we took the bull by the horn. So we decided to have a sensitization before having an opening remark, just showing you the need to make sure that you are educated through this particular event today. But now we will do it the right way by welcoming the founder of Let's Fight Endo, Fatu. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for introducing endometriosis to the Gambia. Like I mentioned, prior to the coming of Let's Fight Endo, we did not know what endometriosis was. The first day she came to QTV for an interview with me, I was like, what is the meaning of endometriosis? And like I said,
so much for being here. All the teachers, the students, all the guests of honors that are here today, the police band, Rainbow Group, Jane Basonko, Fine TV, QTV, everybody, thank you guys so much for being here. Just like Jane Basonko said, Let's Fight Endo it's a foundation that was formed to raise awareness about endometriosis. And I'm just gonna ask a quick question like I did last year. Before today, so before today, okay. So before today, how many of you guys heard of endometriosis before? Before today, how many of you guys heard of endometriosis? If you have, please raise your hands up. Okay, so we have a couple of people, that's good. So endometriosis is a disease that affects young women when you start seeing your period. So let's say you start seeing your period and your period is really heavy. You start having really heavy menstrual cycle. Like you start expressing like bad stomach cramp, back pain, cramps, your legs start to hurt, you start to get dizzy. And then at some point, when you start seeing your period as a woman, it seems like it's normal. Like, because everybody here see their menstrual cycle once every month. So when your blood is really heavy, at some point you're like, okay, this is normal, this is just my menstrual cycle. And then the pain that comes with it, most of us think like, okay, this is okay because we are women, we experience pain. But at some case, it's not normal. Some menstrual cycle is really difficult because at some point you can't even go to school, you can't even go to work, you just have to stay home. So for example, I'm just gonna give myself as an example. I am an endo warrior. I am not a victim, but I'm an endo warrior. I find out that I have endometriosis in 2010 when I was married. But before that, I used to have so much pain during my period, like so much pain that I can't even go to school, I can't even go to work, I can't even do anything. I just stay home and cry for a whole week. So, but for me, I was like, this is normal, this is nothing, it's just menstrual cycle. So year keep going by, like every single month, I keep experiencing pain. Sometimes I even have pain without even seeing my period. Sometimes I have pain during my period or I have pain after my period. So, but for me, I was like, it's normal. So in 2010, when I get married, I was trying to get pregnant, but I wasn't able to get pregnant. But I wasn't sure why I was not able to get pregnant. So finally, my doctor was like, okay, you come here every single month, complain about stomach pain. Every year, you come here. So then when they did when my doctor was pretty much tired of me, after 8 years, I'm talking about 8 years, my doctor was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna send you to a specialist. So I'm gonna send you to a specialist to do a diagnosis called laparoscopic surgery. So at first I'm like, surgery? I don't wanna go through surgery. Like, I'm scared, like seriously? But I was like, okay, let me just go ahead and do it. So I talked to my family, my mom, my dad, my sister, everybody was like, just do it, because every single day you cry about stomach pain, stomach pain. So finally, when they did the surgery, my doctor was like, you have endometriosis. I was like, what's endometriosis? And then he told me, okay, it's very common. It's like over 176 million women worldwide suffer from endometriosis. You can have it and not know it. Like I have it, I didn't know it until after I was diagnosed. So when my doctor told me that I have endometriosis, I took it upon myself to do a research to study about the disease. And then I find out that the disease have all the way up to stage 4. But I didn't know what stage I was in because my doctor just told me you have endometriosis. So 2019, I have a second surgery. That's when I find out that I have stage 3. And that's like the worst of, closest to the worst of the worst. Because endo have 4 stages and I'm stage 3. And then later I find out that the disease blocked one of my fallopian tubes. So meaning that if I try to get pregnant, it's gonna be difficult for me to get pregnant because one of my fallopian tube is blocked because of the disease. So I formed this foundation because I don't want what I've been through, everything that I go through, I don't want any of you guys to go through that. So if you are experiencing a heavy cramp, a very bad menstrual cycle. If your period is painful, you are bleeding constantly, and you can't even handle the pain, you can't go to work, you can't go to school because of a menstrual cycle, please talk to your doctor. Because it might not be normal, it might be endometriosis. And if endometriosis destroys your fallopian tube, your uterus, once you get married, you can't have a child. And we all know how Gambia is, we all know how our society is. If you get married without the child, the stigma that surrounds it is really depressing, it's hurtful. So I am not married anymore, I'm divorced. Because guess what, I didn't have a child with my husband. So my husband decided to get married behind my back without telling me because I didn't get, you know what I'm saying, because we didn't have a child together. You understand what I'm saying? So this is something that I don't want any of you guys to go through. So please.
You have a chance to change the narrative. It is now left to all of you to change the narrative now. As students, go back to your respective schools, talk to them about what endometriosis is, what are some of the challenges that people face, and the fact that if you do not have a child, it does not mean it's the end of the world. There are different forms of having children. There are a lot of children in the Gambia here who need a home, and they do not have one. So Tuta, we're just asking you to be strong. You can do it. You've been doing it. It's been years of struggle, and you are still here. And I think you should be extremely proud of yourself for coming up with such a brilliant initiative. Because without you, people like me will not know what endometriosis is. I am saying this for the second time. Before she came to Gambia, I never knew what endometriosis was. The first day we broadcasted it on QTV, I got calls coming from everywhere. So just the fact that you are changing the narrative on a daily basis in relation to this disease is something that you should be proud of. A round of applause for her once again. So by right, we were supposed to be joined by a doctor called Dr. Firas. I am credibly informed that he's one of the individuals in Gambia here who's able to diagnose endometriosis, because endometriosis is this kind of a disease where the diagnosis is a huge problem. You might have it for years and you might not know. And we all know how bad our health sector is. We have to accept that. Our health sector is not where we want to see it as a country, and it's bringing a lot of difficulties in relation to diagnosing people who suffer endometriosis. So unfortunately, we're unable to be joined by Dr. Firas. He has other important engagements, but deputizing on his behalf will be joined by Phoebe and Ina Grant to actually come here and talk to us using the health perspective of endometriosis and how it is further affecting women on a daily basis. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Honorable. Good morning, distinguished guests from the media, women in uniform, our police and security, various ward councillors in Banjul, our Bajanigo in Banjul, and delegates, students, the Kanyalen, the police, and every other invited guest. I welcome you all. Unfortunately, I wasn't part of the plan to give a statement, but I will just give it briefly to talk about endo, the factors, and also the stages as well as the treatment. So I just want to rectify one thing. Endo is not a disease. It is a condition. And the condition can affect any woman of reproductive health age. But as we say reproductive health age, it starts at the age of 15 to 49 years of age. But in our generation now, we have seen that adolescents especially They start seeing their period at a tender age, as early as 9 years of age. So we have to involve everybody. And when we say about endo, which is a condition, it starts from menstruation. It starts from menarche, that is puberty. And it affects mostly young girls without recognizing it. Because when the menstrual cramp starts as a young girl, as my previous speaker mentioned, they believe that it's a pain that every woman or every child, or every girl child should bear. But we have to change the story about menstrual cramp. When a child starts seeing her period and complains to the parents, and when we say parents, it's not only the mother, but also the father. It's a double responsibility. So as I mentioned, menstrual pain is one of the things that we all should observe and know. No one should start seeing her period whilst having severe and extreme pain. It is unusual. So if someone starts seeing her period and start experiencing painful menstruation and start experiencing even vomiting up to the stage of fainting and unable to walk, it's an alert that you should communicate with your parents. And the parents always should take the child's word, because serious menstrual pain is unusual. We should not ignore that. And in the Gambia context here, talking about menstruation is a taboo because it's blood coming out from you. But it is part of us because it's a pride to every woman. If someone sees her period, start having pain up to the extent of not able to do what she was supposed to do, the parents should consider by taking the child to the hospital. As Fatu has mentioned, endometriosis has 4 stages. You have the calm, the mild, the moderate, the severe, and extremely severe. And the severe is the start stage. You have 4 stages, first, second, third, and fourth. And it's a condition wherein it doesn't mean that once you have endometriosis, you won't be able to conceive. Some can conceive. But 70% of women cannot conceive because of the endometriosis. Unfortunately, here in the Gambia, this is the second time we are doing this launching. Most don't know about endometriosis. But thanks to Fatu for bringing up this initiative. So we want to call everybody's attention. Once you are experiencing such, the first aid that you should do is to communicate with your parents to give an aid. If the parents don't understand, the parents should take you to the nearest health facility to see the OBGYN, the obstetrician gynecologist, or the even nurse midwife to explain to you about this endometriosis. Because we should not ignore about this. It is life-threatening, and also it can affect the individual lifelong. Because once an individual doesn't know, have a partner, get married, and now get married 1, 2, 3 years, no child, it's a problem. They start pointing at that individual. What has she been doing when she was young? They won't know. In the Gambia, most don't know that they have endometriosis here. But some of these manifestations, as Fatu started going to different schools and communities, start explaining these signs and symptoms, people start seeing themselves in this problem. Menstrual cramp, serious cramp, difficulty, that is dysmenorrhea. Because the endometriosis goes and grows in different areas in your uterus, from the ovaries, the fallopian tube. It lies under your uterus. And it causes problems upon problems. Every month you see your period and you said, oh, it's part of you. No, but it is destroying where the baby is supposed to lie down. Instead of the blood coming down straight from the uterus, down straight, it goes back. And from the back, that causes the pain. Some won't able to walk, some will be crawling. Until and unless the blood doesn't come out, you won't have peace. So we want you to consider these signs. Having serious extreme pain, unable to walk, vomiting, serious cramps. You have to say you need someone to help you. Because at the end, you will say, had I known. And endometriosis, you cannot just say, okay, I have this pain, it's an endometriosis. No, there are procedures that needs to be done. They can do scanning for you, which is not expensive. They can do also CT scanning, sometimes MRI. But the only time that they can detect that you have endometriosis is through laparoscopy, and it's very expensive. So if one starts having this pain, you have to treat it at the right time, or else, because laparoscopy in the Gambia is very expensive. And it is mostly done in private facilities and sometimes beyond the country. So I know they're calling me that my time is short, but as a health worker, when you're called, you have to be talking. Because health is something that is very expensive. And health is something that in the Gambia, we do ignore. But it is time for us to know ourselves. Whatever you see or realize that it wasn't in you, you have to get up and don't waste time. On that note, I would like to thank you all for your attention.
Thank you. Who knows what endometriosis is now? Who knows what endometriosis is right now? After all the speeches, kan mooma mun a wax léegi endometriosis lan la mean man student si lay waxal de ekati leen seen loxo dinaa taana de te dañoo joxe price de dinaa ta okay kay give her a round of applause. She's brave.
Baji.
Aisatu, which school are you from?
I'm from St. Joseph.
You're from St. Joseph's. Okay. Why man mangi jealous de man Nusrat la joge de ana wa Nusrati? Ana guy. So what is endometriosis? Can you tell me what is it? Not specifically, but I know you have a little understanding now. Tell me about it.
It's a condition that affects you when you are menstruating.
Okay. So what happens? What happens?
That is the only thing I know.
But you've tried. A round of applause for her. To create an impact. That is why we decided to invite students. And with students, you'll be able to go back to your respective schools, inform your peers, talk to your teachers, and further speak to your parents. And Aina spoke about something very important. She spoke about the health sector and how expensive the health sector is. In the next years to come, you sitting right in front of me, the students sitting right in front of me, you will be the one in our health sector. So the change has to start from you. You have to start questioning. Ask the right questions to your National Assembly members, to your cabinet ministers, to your president. As students, you can start doing that. Because if the health sector does not change, nothing is going to change. And the change has to start from you, me, and everyone sitting here today. So, particular performance in this particular day, considering that we are advocating for something that is very important and considering it affects women. Thank you so much for joining us here, Mariam. Thank you.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. Assalamu alaikum to you all. Being an artist and an activist, using my voice as a means to communicate and positively influence people. It really calls my concern to be here today. Even though I had a show program all through the night, I slept around 5, but I was really interested to be here today because I think we have to, get this fight and enlighten you guys and educate you guys about it. The message has to reach where it has to. So thank you Fatu for the invitation, and Jibu, I really honor the invitation. It's not a happy occasion, honest, like it should be, but we're just gonna do a little bit freestyle. Salam alaikum nuyu nalen. Salam alaikum nuyu nalen. Salam alaikum nuyu nalen. Salam alaikum wa borbile. Salam alaikum the police band. Salam alaikum wa borbi. Salam alaikum, yeah. Salam alaikum, yeah. Salam alaikum, yeah. Are we here? I want us to say, let's fight endo. Let's fight endo. Let's fight endo. Everybody, let's fight endo. Let's fight Lumetila. Lumetila. Chigen you body son and then Nimuterelena am dom. Let's educate and enlighten everybody. Let's go. Let's fight endo. Let's fight Siko. Let's fight Siko Wako. Let's join the fight. Let's fight endo me. Let's fight endo. Let's fight endo. I'm not gonna stay long here. So I thank you all. Yeah, I really honor the invitation, and I just want us to get the message out there. As a woman, I think this is really important, and we all know the society we live in, the stigma and the mentalities of our people, and it's so difficult to ignore that. That's why we have to. Let's go one more time. Let's fight endo. Let's fight endo. Let's fight Lumetila. Lilumetila. Sonala jigen you body. Let's fight. Let's fight endo. Let's fight. Let's fight endo. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Man, creativity la gom dem. Bala ñoo dem to the next item. Xam nga oyon na fi xale. Oyon na fi xale pour mu ñëw wax ma lan la xam ci endometriosis. Fim nekk nii man police lay wor. Waaw. Man police lay wor de. Ah, tàccu leen ma gaay. Man lii laa gom waay jeena tak gom parce que tey man lu ma bëgg mooy ku deelu sa kër nga am looy wax sa yaay nga am looy wax sa papa nga am looy wax sa mbokay su ko defee endometriosis mu mun a jeex su jeexut sax suñ xamee lu miin rek dina mun a wàññeeku. What is your name? Naka nga tudda?
My name is Senabu Manjang.
Senabu, thank you. Senabu, yow da nga brave de. Ah, lii weesu wut brave waay. So what can you tell me about what you've learned so far since the program started, all the speeches that you've listened to? What have you learned so far?
Okay, personally, before I attended this program, I have a sibling at home.
Yes.
Who always face these symptoms that you've talked about. But personally, I always tell her that maybe you have gastric. It only attacks you when your menstruation comes on. But I never knew that this is the sickness behind it. But today when I came here, listening to all that they've said about it, the first thing I'm going to do when I reach at home is tell her what exactly she's facing, that she should visit a doctor before it's too late. And from what I have learned from what they said, it's a condition that affects young ladies from an early age growing upwards, that we don't know, we take it as something that is normal when it is. But from here, the moment I see anyone facing these conditions, what I'm going to tell you is you have to see a doctor before it's too late.
All right.
Thank you.
Wow, policy, juggling the how. Anyway, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Am nañ fi price. Harlen. Dañ fi am price. Price moo fi am de. Student bi am na price. Police officer bi am na price. So ñu xool price bi lan la.
On behalf of the family,
yes,
I'm giving each of them $500.
$500 for each. Kylen Jill. $500 for each. Where's the student and the police officer? Come forward.
I'm doing this on behalf of the family.
Okay, and this is on behalf of the family. Yes, this is on behalf of the family. So happy. Wow. A round of applause.
Proud of you.
Yes, congrats. Thank you. All right, a round of applause for her.
Officer, you are so brave.
Yes.
I appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
You said that very well.
Yeah.
So on behalf of the family.
Yes, on behalf of the family. Joglen Tahau.
Thank you.
Yes.
You have to appear.
Nice.
We are so grateful. Thank you so much.
Find them. Puma order can no go Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Suma ote wate ngeen ñew yu sima.
Well, we can all see that they've arrested me. I just passed out newly at the training school, and there they gave me the name Nyako Manjang. And here they also said I should sing by force. Okay, I dedicate this song to my boss. Adiata nyinkumole diata. Adiata nyinkumole diata. Swakuta sinkaudeta tu momena. Fondinke moja malela. Nyinkumole diata. Adiata nyinkumole diata. Swakuta sinkaudeta tu momena. Fondinke moja malela. Thank you.
A round of applause sparked a conversation here because I have a student behind me as well who wants to say something about what do you understand from endometriosis? You can do it. What is your name? So, Kaidi, what do you understand about endometriosis so far?
My name is Kaidi, a student from Gambia Secondary School. I'm a young girl of 16, a Muslim by religion, a Gambian by birth, and a journalist to be.
Okay.
Madam, first of all, I would like to say thank you so much because today I can say this is a fantastic day and I have learned so much about everything today. I would like to say thank you once again. Before we open the case, I would like to, like my fellow students, ladies, I would like to say we all have to be careful very much. And if you went to a compound, like a big compound where everyone is, if you're not able to have a child, I know nowadays people may say that you are useless, this and this, this and this.
Yes.
Please be careful and know we all are one family. We all are living in the same nation. Okay. If you know that you are facing this kind of disease, you have to go immediately and inform your doctor or you see a doctor before it's too late because we all are living in the same society. We are one family.
Okay, thank you for that. Thank you so much for that contribution. Thank you. I am happy that I'm able to spark a conversation here. I think whenever I'm moderating an event, for me, it's more of the interactions that I have with the audience than the interaction that the speakers have to offer. But I'm afraid we might have to leave Honorable Usman Silla now of Banjul North. Thank you so much for joining us. He has to leave, but like I mentioned, thank you so much for always coming whenever we need you. Thank you so much. We wouldn't mind if you want to say a few words. Yes. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Jainaba. I wish to acknowledge the presence of everybody here. Although I was not lined up to be a speaker, but was invited to come and grace the occasion, which I did. I thought it was going to conclude before my next engagement, but I had an engagement at midday, and it's just coming to midday. So my apologies for leaving earlier than I wished, but because of my engagements. But I just want to acknowledge the initiative by these young women, some of whom are living the condition. And frankly, I too, being the chairperson of the National Assembly Select Committee on Health, have not been aware of this condition before I was approached by a delegation of the organizers a couple of days back, that this is something we should all be concerned about. So solidarity. And then I think their approach is the best approach, awareness raising. Awareness raising can really address this condition that young women are really experiencing. And we have seen Fatu's ordeal. In fact, she wanted to explain, but could not continue. She had to break down because the condition had brought about crisis in her life. And we all ought to come together to avert such an experience. Never again. And we can only do that when we all show concern and start to raise awareness. The schools are an appropriate place to raise sensitization, but also communities, because mothers too need to be sensitized. Fathers, policymakers, lawmakers, like myself, we ought to be sensitized. And I want to assure you that I will always be behind you. I will endeavor to be an ambassador of Endo. Henceforth, I'll be talking about it. Whether I'm in the assembly or outside of the assembly, I'll be talking about it. So count me as one of your partners. Huh? Thank you very much. I wish you a successful celebration.
Back to Parliament, or you will start advocating, and we're looking forward to that because you've been quite instrumental when it comes to issues relating to health, young people, and the list goes on. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. So up next, we'll be joined by an Endo warrior, Panda. It was a lot of entertainment. Now we have to go back to reality. Now we have to go back to understanding the stories of different individuals who get to suffer endometriosis. And I am happy about the fact that Panda wants to talk about mental health issues. Because when it comes to diseases such as infertility, endometriosis, or just anything that's affecting a woman's fertility, it has to do with the mental health issues that the individual has to go through. Research has shown that individuals in other countries are always motivated to commit suicide when these things exist. Not just endometriosis or infertility, but anything that has to do with women and their ability to conceive, or just their ability to become a woman in their own definition. So I feel like as individuals, we defined who we are as to what a woman is based on how we want to define it. That's the thing. If we follow the general definition, then we feel that we are not woman enough. And no one is woman enough. No one should question if they are woman enough or not. It has to do with you being an individual who has so much confidence, so much self-esteem, and believing that there's nothing that should complete you, but you are complete yourself as an individual. Tell me that. Are you complete? Tell me you are complete. Tell me you are complete. All right. Thank you so much, Penda. Yes, we have a gift here as well for, what's the name again? Kadi Injai. Kadi, quite brief, huh? Thank you so much for coming on board to talk about your understanding. A round of applause for her. Def, ñu ngi wax sànq ba tey in English, man dama bëgg a wax in Wolof. Because message bii nii nekkul ne ñu nekk ci school si rek la war a aagatu. Parents yi and ñu nga xam ne dem school tam am nañ the right to déggal lu ñoo wax fii tey. Endometriosis nag du feebar. It is a condition, an autoimmune condition. Boo xam ne benn ci fukki jigéen yu nekk la lee laal. Duma dugaat ci symptoms yi, causes ñi yaaga nañ di wax ci radio si and TV di wax ne xamanguñ lu ko cause because doctors yi ñu ngi still def research. Duma dugatam ci faj because management system rek la amangum cure amanguñ ko. So loo xam ne bàyyangut la doo ko bàyyi. So ñun duñ mun a wax ne feebar la, duñ mun a ooyee suñ boppa patients warriors lañ. Ndax endometriosis stressful boo xam ne soo consider wut sa boppa a warrior, mental health issues dina la sonal torop, wéetaay dina la sonal torop, anxiety dina la sonal torop, te su ñooy duggee rek depression moo la ñëwal. Ñu bari ñu nga xam ne ñu ngi deal with endometriosis, wéetaay bu ñoo deal with nekkut ne comme si amuñ ñoo xam ne ñu ngi leen a surround because jigéen buy dunda muy yaay muy baajen muy sister muy cousin family nga jógee ci society nga jógee, so obviously you're surrounded, but being surrounded minute ne yow yaa ngi wéetale ko nit ñi mun nañoo nekk sa boor te nga wéet ci sa xol te loolu mooy indi mental health issues yi. So may ñaax tey ñu fi nekk muy yaay papa baajen or anybody ku nekk di déglu lii ngeen bàyyi wante xel. Just because yaa ngi dendoo ya nit doesn't mean ne kooku mu ngi feel ne moom ak ay nit yu bari ñoo nekk. Endometriosis wéet na cher na wéet especially cher na torop. Man suma experience bëggoon nañ ma laal si since bu ma started suma period at the age of 13-14 last start to deal with endometriosis. Ñu bari dañ fogoon ne ngelaw moo ma duga or rab or something. So suma yaay daf daan wax ne nañ ko jóg ñaanal yal na ko yàlla yërëm. She left me January. So man awma choice bo pour week awma choice ne dama am pour toog di jooy. Endo forge na ma te suma pila dem na, so I have to be strong. Ñeneen ñoo xam ne ñu ngi feel symptoms comme man buñ xalaat ne comme si ñoom kenn ñoo nekka loolu moo waral Fatou Jom Foundation bi. It's a hand stretched out to ku nekka bum feel that loneliness ba nga xam ne danga am pour deal with depression, anxiety ak mental health issues. Man nag I am lucky tey suma 7 doom ñoo fi nekka. I have stage 4 endometriosis. 2014 lañ ma diagnosed. I've lost both fallopian tubes. I've got 2 failed IUIs, 2 failed IVFs. Wante suma doom yaa ngi nii toog yàlla dafa def ay ma am ñaari mag, benn bu jigéen ak benn bu góor, jural nañ ma ay doom. Thank you so much. Tie wante leen ngeen di fàttaleku ne nit ñi sooraan ko rek taxut moom mu wéetaleku. Dee leen dee bàyyi wante xel. Bàyyi leen seen jabari xel, seen sisters yi, seen cousins yi xel bu baax a baax because endometriosis at feebar yu mel ni moom comme adenomyosis dafa wéet torop sax. Thank you.
You spoke well.
Thank you. They were all the time. Nit ki soo nekkee ak nit si kër sa nga eewu suba sa rakka la woo sa papa la woo loo mu ci bokkaam moom yow li nga war a def suba bi mooy laajte ko ci yoon are you okay mu ne la waa wala déedéet nga laajte waat ko are you okay For the third time, are you okay? Because you are checking on the individual. Because on a daily basis, go through your mental health problem la si Gambia bi te nit ñi understanding ko xamuñ sa ne am na suñu laaka yi sax amaluñ ko tur bu baax boo xam ne lañ ko war a mun a ooyee in a way ne ñu accept ne am na te we can work towards it ba pare ñu change narrative bi. So like I said previously, today this is for the students. It's not for the speakers, it's for the students. Because changing the narrative or changing the status quo, it's in your hands. You have the opportunity to change it because you're both the future and the present. So that is why you are here today, and hopefully when you go back to your respective schools, the change will start from there. I think we have another student. Like I said, I've sparked a conversation. I must stop there. I've sparked a conversation here, but it's a good thing. Like I said, it's for the students. So what is
Anna Coley? I'm from the Reverend JC5.
All right. So what can you tell me about endometriosis? What have you learned today?
I just want to give a remark to Fatul and the organizers for organizing this program, because most of the students like me, I never knew this program was all about what. And by coming to this program, I have learned much about it. And I think even my worst enemy, if I should see the person, I will let the person know that you should not kill yourself or something else because of this program. And I could, so yeah, you weren't your time of your say. Because yàlla feebar moom moo koy joxe waaye nekku ñoo koy jox suñu boppam comme essayé ni nga ko woyee rek Mariama foog naa ne war ngaa ñëw nga jàppale ma woy bi parce que si yéen laa ko jàngee.
Ok so fi mu nekk nii balaa ñoo dugg si woy bi xaar leen de man maa spark conversation bi foog ma génnee ko rek ma bugg a xam tey boo delloo school Monday soo demee si school bi soo demee lan ngaa njëkk a def attend nga programme bi ba pare. So, what should you do at school? Because this has to do with, it's not every student at your school has the opportunity to be here to know what endometriosis is. So what are you going to do when you go back to school?
When I go back to school, the first thing I will do is to gather all the female students inside the school and tell them what I have learned about this program.
And don't forget one thing, they have to see a doctor.
A doctor, yes.
If they feel that way. It doesn't mean everyone who has menstrual cramps has endometriosis. You know that, right?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Yay, sama bay boy bulan matana jawab. Gor can you find handle? Walay kimu bagul man yay sama bay boy bulan matana jawab. Gor can you find handle?
Okay, it's fun. A round of applause for her. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah.
I'm the principal of JC5.
Okay, we have the principal of JC5 here as well. She wants to also give some few remarks.
Thank you so very much, Jennifer. All protocols duly observed. I just want to toss as a person, I have never heard anything about endometriosis. The very first time I heard about it was when Fatu and her team came to our school.
Right.
If you look up there, the number of students from our school is more than any other school. When we got the letter, he said 5 students. I told her, look, in our school, we have this cramps problem with the girls. Please, can I invite more than 5 girls so that they will come and hear and learn and know exactly what to do and how to handle themselves. Because of this problem in our school, I had to introduce first aid for girls in the school because the problem is prevalent. I've never seen it like this where I come from, and I've never known the name that it is called endometriosis. So our girls, we send them to school, to the doctors, and then we give them first aid in the school every month when the problem starts. But now we really know what it is, that the doctors diagnose is the best solution to the problem. So to Fatu and her team, we say a very big thank you. May God bless you. Hope is not lost. There's hope for you, and God of visitation will surely visit you for thinking this much about girls and the women in our society, in our country, and worldwide. May God bless Fatu and her team. Thank you so very much.
So you can present this to your students.
Okay, thank you so very much for giving this to our students.
Yeah.
Okay, my dear. Congratulations. Stop crying, okay?
Yeah.
Don't cry. God is with you. The problem is over. With the endometriosis team, the foundation, the problem is over. For all of you from our school and all other schools and all others in the country that are privileged to hear and learn about endometriosis foundation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Hi, everybody. How are you? Are you all sleeping? How are you? Good. Thank you so much for having me. I am very honored to be here. My name is Dr. Nafi Sise. Well, everybody can call me Nafi. That's what I prefer. And just listening to all these amazing warriors and the stories, I am very inspired about what I hear. Where I work in the US, I deal with a lot of women who have endometriosis. And I have realized just listening to a lot of you guys here that it is tough to have endometriosis, especially in Gambia, in a country where there's the healthcare resources is very limited. And most of you will go undiagnosed with endometriosis. And there's not a lot of resources for treatment, for diagnosis even, things like surgeries that are needed sometimes for this. But I'm very hopeful that the education that they're giving, especially the youth, and not just the girls, the boys as well as the men, because what endometriosis is, as you guys have heard from a lot of our warriors, it's a very debilitating disease. So I'm not gonna belabor the point by explaining what it is. You guys made a great effort in trying to explain what it is and some of the symptoms, the pain, the debilitating pain that people sometimes have from it. And I think one of the biggest issues is that, or the side effects of endometriosis is the infertility that it causes. So from 20 to 40% of patients with infertility actually have endometriosis. So it's a huge number. But just listening to people sensitize all of our communities about, make sure that we are very sensitive to people that have these diseases. And sometimes we may not know it, but I will say this in Wolof. Su dee jigéen dem na ba sey amut doom, bàyyi leen di ko rusloo di ko laaj kañ ngay am doom, because we don't know what is going on inside of that woman, okay? So we have to be very sensitive. When ñun suñ culture bi, it's normal pour nga tasee jigéen si xew nga rusloo ko, nga ne ko xanaa yow doon jigéen, yow itamit doo gaaw nga am doom. Léegi dafa fekk ne borom, she's dealing with stuff. Maybe borom mu ngi just lose doom yaagut waaye waxut ko kenn. Maybe dafa biiroon biiram bi yaaxu, right? Wala maybe dafa am endometriosis ba tey munta am doom mu ngi try. So ñun saa yuñ tasee gis nga man, I don't have endometriosis actually, but I've been married for 7 years. I don't have any kids, but that's by choice that I don't have kids because I'm planning. I'm on family planning. But I have come across a lot of people shaming me, asking me all the time, why don't you have kids? Just my aunt, 2 days ago when I arrived and I was volunteering at Fajikunda, giving medications to patients for free. So my aunt came there and she said to me, in front of all the patients and in front of a room full of people, she says to me, didn't I tell you to bring me a baby this time around? So I had to teach her in front of everybody that, first of all, it's not polite to embarrass a woman in front of people asking about a child because you don't know what her condition is. And I know that culturally that is acceptable practice for us to do. But I'm telling you that it is not an acceptable practice. So we need to de-teach ourselves and relearn that that is not okay. Dengen, so legi so len deme be yen tamit ngeen mag. Am ko xamne amu dom bu len ko de laaj kañ ngay am dom parce que su dee des na ci kooku rek I'm not doing best say. So let's not embarrass people about things like that. And with endometriosis, there's hope. It is manageable. Munga dijel igarab. So they am sa period bini. Ding de am metit bubari. You have lots of pain sometimes. Very debilitating pain. Pelvic pain. Legi people can't get out of bed kind of pain. And so when we see that, every month we see that, let's not say to the people, yo danga tayal jogal silal binga dem ligay. So we have to have our men folk also be very, very understanding that this is a condition that it needs support from our men folk as well. Because this type of a condition, it affects the woman. Even in the marriage, it affects the woman. Because sometimes just sexual intercourse is the most painful thing when you have endometriosis. And so when our women folk are trying to tell the men folk that I am having some issues, that I am in a lot of pain right now, we need to also be very understanding of that woman and not be, diko sewal, diko wane sabenen moromi jigen dina komun. We need to take our mindsets from doing things like that and be more supportive with our women. And medication such, I believe in Gambia, it's called Brufen or something like that. And even paracetamol are things that you can take sometimes to kind of help with the pain. And you can do things like using hot water bottles sometimes when you have this pain. But when somebody has chronic pain, every month you have debilitating pain. Every month you are looking forward to this pain that you feel like it's gonna end your life, right? Mentally, you start to kind of lose your cool a little bit, and this can cause things like depression, just like she had eloquently talked about. You can have things like depression because chronic pain after a period of while causes depression. And so hamnane ñun gomuñ ci depression. That's another story. I'm gonna have to talk to you guys about that. Gambia so waxe ñu ne ñun duñ dee depressed. We are not exempt from depression. We are human beings like everybody else in the world. And so we do suffer from things like anxiety, depression, schizophrenia, things like that. And the more that we educate ourselves and understand and give support to people who have depression, ko xamne borom lum de buga pour def before du koy muna defat, du de kontaan mu ngi togal bopam, all the time feeling really sad, not enjoying life. These are all things that we have to look out in our neighbors. Again, the panel have eloquently talked about it, and check on each other. Make sure that if somebody's not their usual self, you check on them and find out what is going on. Sude yange am pain bile yange wala sode ne ka young girl ni yange am sa cycle bi, but you bleed a lot more than usual. Make sure nga dem si lopitan bi ñu chegal la set ndax amulo endometriosis denga, so that you don't have to suffer alone. And I'm so glad that they now have a support group and a network where you can reach out. So they say yai wala sa papa wala sa auntie wala ko dekal, they can't understand what you're going through. Make sure you reach out to one of these lovely women here who can be your support system so that they can help you go through it. If you need to go to a doctor, that way you can get diagnosed and treated as well. Okay? Do you guys have any questions? I am open to answer any questions you guys have. Medical questions, non-medical questions.
Okay, so we will just take all the questions at once, and then when you go back to your seats, she can answer it. Because it's 12 o'clock already.
By my former school teacher, Ms. Joe.
Okay, so what's your question to Dr. Nafi Sise?
My question is that, they say that when you are menstruating, it causes pain and you faint. So some pain, they used to take this thing, paracetamol or relief. Is it good
to take that?
Yeah.
Okay, your question is noted. Thank you. Come on. What is your name?
My name is Awasamba, a student of Sensitization School.
What's your question?
My question is, can't we have someone responsible for, in charge of the disease, like someone giving us medicines in schools?
Okay.
As students, sometimes we see some people seeing their menses. It's understandable.
Okay.
Now, can't we have someone responsible for giving the students some medication to take or an advice to give them when they see the signs and symptoms of the
Okay.
disease.
Where is the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education? We should have had a representative here, but we have a principal as well, so she'll be able to tell us if they have medication for students at her school for students when they're on their periods, as well as sanitary products. What's your name?
My name is Aisha Gay and I am from SOS Haman Minor.
Yeah, what's your question?
My question is, if you already visit the doctor and know that you're going through the condition, you did mention that it has no cure. So what else can you do?
Okay. All right. Next question.
Greetings. I am Ramatulai Zohisware from SOS Haman Minor. I've been having this question a lot because last year Auntie Fatu came to my school consulting us about this endo. And then most of my students, because they are kind of not having that relationship with their parents, and then they were like, okay, their menstrual cycle comes late. And then when they're within their menstrual cycle, like they feel pain, they vomit. Like for instance, every Sunday, I feel like, okay, that is Sundays are the days that I see my periods mostly, and that is the time that my mom will be like, "Huh, Sunday jota tina duna go ligay."
Oh,
and
wala da fare want, wala da fare want.
Exactly, and dafa be like Sunday jota tina dimas mom hamna ne demut studies demut school.
Yeah.
Dafa wax ne like biram bangi meeting, and my dad will be like, "Ah, deglu ko rek be ham." So is it also advisable to tell your like how will you communicate with them? Because some of them they'll be like, for instance, if they skip their period, they'll be like, like
Yeah,
what
things like
happened?
that,
And then
yeah.
you cannot tell your parent because you have this relationship with your parent that you cannot tell anybody. And then unfortunately, I will say that people within that condition are really brave. They're indeed warriors. And then we should accept them in our society, as well as, okay, it's not only within women, we have to consult our spouse as well. Like, we are together in the relationship, and you have to know what I'm feeling. It's nothing like I'm the only one feeling it and you have to be left behind. It doesn't make sense. You are with me in this condition, we have to die with it. And then the case is, okay, nan by the interferes in relationship with Jigeni, accent Jikari. And then, okay, just as like last week, there's one of my colleagues that got married, and then you get Lacha Malanam. What's your business in Hamalan? Samalan. Like, Samalan. Okay, at the end of the day, Malan, okay, Latin and Malan. Elek lifin la nyo Latin. Namo am dom. Send business la. Nyam no say. It's none of your business. Jikerambi takanoko.
Yeah.
Kulen lijanten lenen ni. Because paying them bright price be there's nothing like.
What's your name again? What's your name again? Ramatulai.
Yeah.
So Ramatulai, what do you want to become? What do you want to become?
A barrister.
A barrister.
Yeah.
And you'll be standing for the rights of women, right?
Women.
Yeah.
Women, let us stop interfering in their businesses.
Okay.
Especially in their homes.
So what's your surname?
Suare.
Barrister Suare, thank you so much. Barrister right there. Next question.
Once again, the question I would like to ask is sometimes a woman will, when she's in the menstruation up to 7 days, and will bring out these blood clots, and some of them even take injection about it. So I would like to say, what is it advisable or what is it?
Okay, so last question. I just hope we can remember.
Black blood?
Yeah, like blood, but they how you.
Oh, okay.
Wow. What's your question?
My name is Anna Dong from St. Joseph's.
Okay.
And I wanted to ask this: if it is genetics, does it come from the parents to the offsprings?
Okay.
And this is something people don't understand. We women, we are the flowers of the world. We are supposed to be left to shine. We're supposed to be watered. But if people come criticize us, people come give us pain, we will have anxiety, then we will be depressed. Like you said, people say we are not involved in depression. We are.
Yeah.
Because we are women. Ñun jigéen la. Ñu ci dañu war a di jàppale waaye ñi dañoo ñëw di ñu xas. Ñu di ñu tojal. Di nga gis yaay daam sa ñëw naan la. Yow doo am doom doo jur. Lii lan la. Ñeneen ñi lu ndee def du yoon. Dañu war a dimbal, dañu war a di roose ndig ñun. Ñooy yaay ëllëg. Ñun ñooy def aduna bi mu leer. Ñun ñii ñooy jigéen.
Léegi yow, li ma la bëgg a laaj mooy. Li ma la bëgg a laaj mooy yow lan nga si bëgg a def. Yow lan nga si bëgg a def parce que yéen a mën a change narrative bi so yow lan nga bëgg a def si loolu.
man dama génn si biti dem sensitize wax nit yi lu mu war a def wax nit yi lu mu war a def jàppale leen ñu dimbale jigéen ñi ba pare gis nga man maa ngi binda fu ma toog noonu su ma demee maa dem suñ school report jàngal yeneen jigéen yi ba pare wax gaay suñu demee lu ñoo wax seen morom
baax na cim waay noonu la dégg na
Hopefully I can remember all the questions, because I think the first student asked, what are some of the things that you can take when you have these cramps or period pains? I think she was asking about paracetamol. And yes, you can take paracetamol. That's okay to take. It's going to be helpful for the pain. And you can take, in the US, we call it non-steroidal anti-inflammatory medications. And some of those things are ibuprofen. And I believe here it's called Brufen.
Yeah.
Yes, Brufen is really good for these types of cramps and for endometrial pain. So you can go to the pharmacy and get some Brufen if you have it. So you will feel a little bit of cramping and abdominal pain before your period comes, right? So when you feel these cramps before you actually start having your cycle, that's when you start taking the Brufen or the Tylenol or the paracetamol. So go to the store, buy it, and take it every day until the day 3 of your period. Every day, take it once a day, and that should help decrease some of your pain. But you can use Tylenol and paracetamol or Brufen over the counter. You can use those for pain. And I think the second student was asking if there's any treatment for endometriosis. And some of the treatments, like I said, they don't have any cure for it, but they do have treatments. And using some of these pain medications are some of the ways to manage and treat the pain. Another way to do it is sometimes we give our patients birth control pills. Come like family planning pills. We give it to them. And what that does, it decreases your hormone level so that you don't have a lot of growth of the endometrial tissue, so that you don't have a lot of pain and a lot of side effects every month for your cycle, okay? So make sure that you can go and talk to a doctor or talk to a support group so that they can help give you something like that. And just because somebody is on birth control pills or family planning pills doesn't mean they're up to no good. It doesn't mean they're out there doing something bad with a man. Sometimes it's just for treatment reasons why we give it. So make sure the moms, make sure ne yentamit yayi ak papa yi ngeen understanding ne just because xale bi mu ngi jël garab wala sa jabara ngi jël garab for family planning or pour pills yi ni pour mu dimbale ko pour endometriosis la pour dimbale ko faj ko tuuti. So it's not for any other reasons. So don't feel like there's a sinister reason xale ba ngi jël medication bi la pour birth control bi mu ngi nekk fi ak boys ci street bi. That's not the reason why. It's actually a treatment for endometriosis. So make sure you guys realize that. So that's one thing you can also give for that. Okay? I think that's all the
questions.
questions.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. Nekk ni dañoo dem ci bàjjeni gox bi ñu invite ko mu ñëw wax ñu moom tamit lan la foog comme xam nga ñoom bàjjen lañ ñoom nekk nañ fi balaa ñun ñuy ñëw te ñoom gis nañ changes yi am ñoom seen time ak léegi mun nañ maa wax ne changes yu bari am nañ ñun ñoo ñëw change narrative bi ñun parce que ñoom am na gom-gom yuñ amoon yoo xam ne xëj na it was harmful waaye ñoom léegi li ma gis mooy suñ bàjjen yi nangu nañ ne am na yoo xam ne dafa war a wéyteeku te ñu ngi siy dox ak ñun te loolu am na solo torop so tàccu leen ma ko
mbooloo mi fi toog yëpp maa ngi njëkkee suma nuyoo ci high table bi gars yi nekk fii suma sista yi fi nekk brothers yi fi nekk yëpp maa ngi leen di nuyu di leen gërëm di gërëm nag students yi yaay yi fi nekk it dinaa wax ak ñoom man suma taxawaay tey maa ngi taxaw fii as bàjjeni gox laa maa ngi tudda nag Binta Sonko dëkk Banjul South waa Banjul laa may wax nag ci turi bàjjeni ci des yëpp man dama éemu man lii def ma éem parce que ñun dund nañ lii ak suñ doom yi ak suñ dëkkandoor yi ak xale yi ñoo xam ne soo-called doom lañ ci ñun saa yu lii jotee rek seen mensuration jotee rek biir yu métti
ñii di borbori ñii di def lu nekk ñu naan ah waxtoom bee jotati waaye comme li olof Njaay di wax ne jàng du wees bii dalati nañu bii jàngale ci jàng yi jot nañ cee understand loo xam ne ci suba ba léegi maa ngi toog di dégloo balaa suba it borke démba nekkoon naa ak ñoom déggal naa lu bari si ñoom jàngee naa lu bari si ñoom lii dafa nekk loo xam ne lu daw yaram la li ñoo wax rek ñun jigéen dañ sonna jigéen dafa sonna ndekete jigéen du biir rek wasin boot doom bambaane ndeke togga sëy bi ci kër gi ndeke loolu rek nekkul en bi jigéen mu enu ndeke ñu ngi amee lii tamit lii ñu ngi foog ne is something very normal ndekete normalut ndeke lii normalut man barka démba nag su ma waxee dëgg rek barka démba tax ma xam ne lii mooy lii et pour ñeen ñi nag seen gis-gis parce que fi mu nekk nii ci political monde lañ nekk ci political yi lañ nekk suñu gisee nag ak suñu nete yii ñu foog na xëy na we come for another party déedéet groupe bi loolu taxuleen a jóg yelo bi li ko waral mooy ci suñ jànga ne su fekkee ne feebar bi dal na la fa feebar bi di nekk foofu ci sa bi dafa nete so moo looloo waral ñu jël yelo bi def ko symbole waaye buñ ko gisee ni xëj na pati sangam pati sangam a ñu tax a jóg loolu taxuñoo jóg waaw parce que ci jamono politique lañ nekk te nit ñi dañ ñaaw xel ba mu ga dee ngeen jéggal ma nag ci wax ji lii foog ñu enlighten ko ñun ñëpp ñu xamee ko noonu ñuy wax nag de papa yi ngeen dimbale ñu yéen waxambaane itam boo gisee ñu oo leen ngeen bokk ci lii jigéen mënut a dem without góor waaye góor itam mënut a dem without jigéen lii dañ bëgg a ngeen xamal ñu ko ku ngeen gis mu nga tëdday borbori nga naan kii moom nii la mel surtout yéen boy si sax ma doore leen ci daala kii moom nii la mel doo dee understand kii saa yi dana fekk ko mu yuuxu di dal di tëb di dal nii nga naan non xamuloo système bi kenn ne ko bàyyi ko ci biir fekk demeewut noonu lii la ñoo encounter man nag dama ci am loo xam ne dama ci jàkkaarloo xale bu jigéen bu dëkk ak ndeyam a baayam moom mu dëkk ci saal bi yaayam a baayam dëkk ci cabinet bi su fekkee ne lii jot na ko every month man time men sore itam muy jooy di borbori papa ji jóg ne ko xaaral ma dem jox ko garab ndekete woo yal na ma yàlla baal su demee jox ko garab ba pare muy trap bi loolu jeexee muy blindfold yaay bi su jógee rek ne ko ni waxtu bi jot na de xaaral ma dem jox xale bi garab ndeke mu ngee dem di jëfoo xale bi te moo ko jural boppam du lu ma riit ci bug du luñ ma nettali lu ma gisa suma bët lay wax télévision lay waxee xale ba xëy umba léegi moromam ya nekk ca pompe ba diw sàggam de dafa biir yaa ja fekk leen fanaan ne loolu ngeen ko éenee waaye yéen ay wasin bu soobee yàlla moom de du wasin da ngeen di soxorte iñaan ba xale bi xëy wasin rek papa ja gaadu baagam ne yaay ja maa gaa dem xaw ma lan damaa jëndi xaw ma lan nag lan ca lañ ko gëj a gis yaay ja nag dem jëli xale ba lopitaan ñëw mu ne ko léegi nag comme yow biir ngaa man ci ndég di ma ko nëbba ba wasin léegi kan moo la biiral mu ne ko suma papa soo gisee ma indi lii dama bëgga ñi xamuloon xam ñi xamit yokk xam-xam looloo tax ma indi lii asbaaje ni gox dañoo dugga di génn di egg di wàcca te ñun amuñ dara lu ñoo laaxa ñun liñ war a wax dañ ko wax ca digga bala ñoo jaar pour nga understand parce que am na ñoo xam ne boo leen liyaaree ñuy war a dem ci seen dictionnaire waaye ñeena ñi dañ leen di war a ñëw wax ko pam ñu xam ne lii nga wax waaw ñu xam ne lii nga wax ñu ngi leen di gërëm nag di leen santa lii nag boo ma bëgg a yéen xale yu jigéen ñi xale yu góor yi képp ku ci dem man de ba ci ngoon ay groupe boys laa dajale ca garage ba di leen ko wax naan ko nañ ko tasaare do ñoom di leen dal waaye dina dal seen sista yi ak seen xarit yi nañ ko tasaare lii dafa am pour ngeen tasaare ko jërëjëf.
dañoo invite geste yi su ko defee gars yi ñëw ñu am tuuti entertainment waaye dafa mel ni time bi lu ci des bëriwul nag su ko defee nit yi mun na dem ñibbi tey Saturday la ñu mun na dem seen kër yi mun na añ soo ñu invite leen su ko defee ñu am
Wuneeno maa ngi gërëm suma yaay suma bàjjen ñi fi nekk ak suma broda si man Yaamu Ndaw Jaan Juuf laa tudda bés bi suma bés la because waxtu mu nekk dama dee kontaan li ma bëgg a pour def
yéene pour def ko su ma gisee xale bu ndaw taxaw defal ma ko dama dee wat bu nekk programme am du ma ko tardé bi ma joxee testimony pour suma dama ko ci tudda ndig lii baaneex la dañ ma yombalal suma liggéey lii ñuy fee def fi musuma jóga tur bi jaar naa ci keneen jaar na ci keneen jaar na ci te li baajani gox bi wax fi mu nekk si loolu lañ nekk de papa yaa ngi biiral doom yi du waxi caaxaan lu am la du benn du ñaar du ñetta mu ngi am léegi du xale yi de bala ñoo mun a kontaan suñ la xamalee góor ba pare ñu pus la nga am far nga teddaa moom ñu ne danga ko réew ñu indil ñu ko te sexual activité bi sa baay moo la ko jàngal bu nga seere jata mu utal la góor mu teddaa yow ñu teg ko ku moom mu toog si kër bor bu seen mu ngi am bon maa ngi leen a yeeta amut papa amut nijaay amut mag amut schoolmate amut teacher fi mu nekk nii last man bi study teacher yoo jàngalal ma suma doom ngay koo jàngal raay ak noo koo moccee ak yi ngaa def bàyyi leen seen xel bàyyi leen seen xel it's not about them it's about us suñ joma ñoo ko moom kenn du ko la jërëjëf
It's not about
Fatam fanso fain koma nimma bankana dati alnga fitambala ay seneya na banko sita nyato yirwase sia nka jele nyoma kafeya kasi kakacha dulawo dulase dia katu yendong wala na Gambia kon suma dan sarahu katsa solema meli rek ma ñibi duma xaar ken ñew naan ma acca sibiti kon na leen fexe ñu génne fi lii bum fi amati sori loko bum fi jagati xiif loko bum fi lekkati mar loko bum fi naanati su bigee takka ñu dagati ñu tàccooti feccati begati kafati reyati si mbega gawdi la neexati kon dama jël laka ye boole ngir jël xoli firi jola bi topp ne ma e ñaab ba caara bu réeri ma jokko e kangole mu door mu ne ma emite kati pol bi top ne ma jonna pizza mi fala kalati na ngeen def yéen a ngi fay yéen a ngi fay dégguma leen yéen a ngi fay nice may naa gërëm di nuyu sin waajur fi nekk yëpp di wax ne comme bés bi daal foog ñoo teew to show love to all the survivors of Endo di leen wax ne ay jàmbaar ngeen ba pare foo leen mun ci taxaw rek xam leen ne ñu ngi seen board di leen support so for the sake of time moom mun a def a whole piece because toogaay bi yàgg na so I just give you few more freestyles then and I'll say thank you yeah ñoo fi gënoon a kontaan mel ni ñu naan si ndoxu zam-zam waaye xeexanteeg rayante jëlee ñu si boobu kontaante dugal ñu si toroxtaanne ñu jàngee si ay xam-xam ñi dee ñi laagu ñi daanu ñi yaram yu bi jam-jam métti bi diis ni xol buy fëgg si dënn ni ndënd buy tëgg naan balla tam-tam kon man mënatumay am nelaw bu doy ndax ñu ne loolu weesu na liggéey si réew mi jot jànk wante fitnaak naaj bu tànga ci loo seen sara ay mara ka fara mbaloo ka tara ka bara ka jaraja ndax dene liggéey be tekki taxul la tekkeeku si takk kati waaye tagg yi la tagg taxul la teggeeku si tàggum picc yoo toj nene sa xol bu rafet mun na la tàggaloog sa sago ba nga jànk wanteeg loxo rubukat yi waaye balaa gàncax yi di màgg balaa garab yi di meññi balaa doom yi di ñor balaa meew yi si weeni di nga mbokkanteeg dalanteeg foganteeg jafe-jafeeg jaaxleeg natoog naxar waaye yooyu coone sa engrais tekki kon bul taay bul xaddi thank you
Members of the high table on my left, we are saying thank you very much for coming to this occasion. The school children, the girls especially, the police officers, especially the WPCs, your presence is highly appreciated. You are here in large numbers, so we want to thank you for gracing the occasion. So I would prefer to speak in Wolof for the benefit of our relatives who just crossed over the ferry this morning to witness this occasion. So suñu mbokki déglukat yi ñu ngi leen a nuyu seetaankat yi kontaan nañ torop ci seen teewaay bési tey bi bési tuuta la di suñu raka Fatou Diom kontaan nañ ci torop pour teewee bés bi tey bii mooy ñetteeli at tuuta di organize this campaign yàlla dimbali na ñot this year teewee nañ musuñ koo teewee for this the first time ñu koo teewee so ñu ngi jërëjëfal ñi fi jaar ñëpp ñi fi sànni ay kàddu yëpp ñu ngi leen a jërëjëfal di jërëjëfal MC bi Dieynaba di koo xam ne xam naa ko bu baax fi ma liggéey anytime suñu soxlee QTV dañ dee make sure ne they are available moom ci moo xam def dee ñëw grace occasion bi so ñu ngi la jërëjëfal ci li nga jàppale suñu sister Fatou Diom suma rakk la suñ papa yi ñoo bokka ñoo juddu benn kër yaaru benn kër suñ papa muy Amérique muy honorable Dudu Diom ak yaay Dieynaba Diop ñoom ñooy papa ak yaay ci tuuta soo kaddu yi maa gaaral fii tey maa ngi ko wax on their behalf ak on behalf of koo xam ne Diom nga santa o séeréer nga bokk ak tuuta di Fatou Diom ñu ngi leen a jërëjëfal ci seen teewaay suñ mbokki séeréer yi jógee Kër Ngor tey jàlla féeri bi tey loolu kontaan nañ ci torop du ma leen gisee dama kontaan torop waxuma nag ñu ñëw perform ci présence ci ñëpp loolu ñu leen a jërëjëfal endo tuuta first time over the téléphone fekk muy Amérique mu kool ma ñuy waxtaan fekk xam naa condition am mu nekk loo xam ne ñun ñëpp ñu ngi koo mététloo ku am sister bu nga am ay jërbaat waaye unfortunately bi ma expliqué condition am I felt it ñun ñëpp famille bi yëpp ñu jàppale ko so ci la ma won ne dafa am campagne bu mu bugg a def on endometriosis first time bi ma ko waxee ma ne luy loolu so mu taay explain after bi ñu jeexalee téléphone bi ma jël dictionnaire bi man tam ma jéem a seet what is endometriosis so bi mu starté ak léegi mun naa wax ne awareness bi has gone up su doon dañ dim koo door suñ defoon a survey or analysis of ñaata nit aware of endometriosis man public health laa jànga waaye bi mu ko waxee I had to go and do the research and know about it so ñu bari xamuñ ko so campaign bi is very very fundamental very important torop pour xale yu jigéen ñi because gis mbaa ci suñ aada ñu bari suñoo gis mbaa góor yi doo leen ci da yëg dara xanaa waxtu julli jot ñu ne la diw doo julli ñu ne du ma mun a julli tey waaye dañ fa nekk secret boo xam ne lu mu mun a àndal rek dañ ko dee keep as a secret nekkul ne tuuta rek la lii dal am na ñeneen ñu fi jaar wax seen experience am na ñeneen ñoo xam ne ñu ngi koo dundee waaye xamuñ ko so campagne bi jubluwaay bi mooy ñu nit ñi ñu xam lan mooy endometriosis ak naka la ñoo fanxee loolu ba pare ak métit yi nga xam ne mu ngi ko àndat naka lañ koo lifin dundee especially stress bi mu àndat parce que nga nekk jigéen di sëy amuloo doom ñu laa gundu xatal any side sa jëkkër everyday mu laa xuntul yow doo am doom sa jigéen ñam sa njëkke yaa ngi naan doon yow xanaa yow doo am doom ñun dañ bugg a doom su ko defee stress boobu loolu rek daf dee sonal ñu bari so loolu moo tax campagne bi jóg te ñu ngi ñaanal tuuta campagne bi yan gën a succeed ñu dem ba Gambia yëpp endometriosis waaw starting was very difficult waaye alhamdulilah rabbi alamin moo tax du ma daane suma kàddu te waxuma thank you very much to ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi jàppale tuuta sponsors yi bari nañ du ma mun a jaar ci seen tur ñoom ñëpp waaye ñu ngi leen a jërëjëfal xam woon leen ne this is a worthy cause waaw so on behalf of family bi ak ñi fi teew yëpp njoomeen yaa fi first step ñi fi sant joom bari nañ torop waa kër ngóor waa kër ngooñaan ñëpp a ngi fi waaw xam naa time amut waaye maa ngi conclude so ñooñu fu mu jaar ñu leen jërëjëf ci jàppale bi kontaan nañ torop tuuta ñu ngi ci sa gannaaw tey ñu ngi ci sa gannaaw ëllëg keep it up thank you very much waaw jërëjëf alhamdulillah
especially the fact ne góor nga mu jógee si góor soo jërëjëf waaye continuer leen di si jàpp comme noo ko waxee yéen a ngi si gannaaw tim bi tey yéen a ngi si gannaaw tim bi ëllëg soo fi mu nekk nii ñu tëjee ambiance wala ñu tëjee seriousness dama laajte du man de ñu tëjee ambiance ndax ñu tëjee seriousness ok kon comme que ambiance ngeen bëgg a tëjee Jalimaadi dinañ ko bàyyi mu tëjal ñu ko ñu oo Jibu M Seydi su ko defee moom member of the team la mu ñëw wax ñu coono bi xam naa ne let's fight endo team bi soona nañ duñ dee nelaw guddee bëccëg ñu ngi tubaka dal di make sure ne event bu mel nii tey mu mun a am yéen tamit soo leen fi toogutoon event bi du am so Jibu M Seydi yow mun nga ñëw wax rek tubaka dal bi métti woon na de métti woon na trop.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Hello. Can you give a round of applause to yourself? Thank you very much. For now, Bollywood is just to say thank you. But before I say thank you, I just want you to know that we have to stand in solidarity for each other. There is no us without them, meaning there is no us without the women or the girls' fault. Endometriosis is real and the pain is severe. As men, we have been standing in solidarity with them because we feel they're warriors, so we want to be beside them as warriors. That is why we are here with them today. To every young man who had been here today, or to every man who had find their time to support Endo, give a round of applause to yourself. Like Jennifer said, it's a long and difficult one, but Alhamdulillah, we are here. It's the second time we're launching in Banjul. We've done one in Carnival Municipal Council, and here we're in Banjul today. So didn't continue to raise awareness in schools, in communities, everywhere we can in our society level, just to make sure Endo is aware. Endo is registered in the Gambia and is registered in the United States of America. We want to extend as much as possible in other countries as well. We want to thank all our sponsors and to everyone that make it here today. The security service, we cannot pay you. Thank you so much. The schools, the groups, the society, the Bagenigo, thank you everyone. It's a thank you message. So thank you, Community Ambience. Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming.
Man gis naa fi ñu jox leen prize man ana suma prize bi
man ko andi léegi
ana suma prize bi laa bëgg a laajte wala programme bi ambiance bi du am waaw
man ko andi léegi
ambiance bi du am de suma prize bi si ñëwutee rek ambiance bi du am so once again
dama ñëwoon rek pour support sama si ñoom si soxla nga rek ma def ay sa ide Sutukun kumu sorala nyabota kumbufe bani fadu wale jabita mo nena la sutuku magis lo ini
iko sutukung ala sutukung kung musoraya nyabata kung mufe bani faduale jabitamo nina la sutukung ala sutukung yao solole sole yao solo ninke jau jara dimma solole solo sawari jërëjëf thank you so much jërëjëf.
ok comme noo leen ko gisee ñu ngi fii Banjul ñu ngi ñëw waxtaan ak nga xam ne moo créé programme bi nii tur bi
Fatou Diom.
Fatou Fatou mën nga ñu wax lan moo nekkoon tey sa teeru fii
tey dañ fi ñëwoon because dañ war a raise awareness about endometriosis endometriosis moo nekk feebar bi nga xam ne daf tey naka lañ ko waat daf dee sonal jigéen ñi sakatuma laa si xale yi so maaj nag moo nekk endometriosis awareness month so ñu si biir maaj so tey ñu ne xaaral ñu ñëw ñu indi ko Banjul because last year ñu ko defee woon fii Westfield so di se ñu ne xaaral ñu indi ko Banjul pare ñu invite xale yi school si yaay yi ak councilors Banjul yi ñu ñëw fii ni teewee fi su ko defee ñu éduquer xale yi about feebar bu ñu ooy endometriosis because feebar bi sonal na xale yi sonal boo xam ne soo ko teelutee xam rek mun na laa yaaxal sa njurukaay bi mun na laa yaaxal lu bëri so moo tax ñu ne xaaral te ñu teewee fi invite schools te soo gisee sax xale yëpp ñu fi different schools ñu fi te dama suma xool dafa seede dama kontaan trop.
lan nga feel bu ñëpp teeruwee sa programme bi lan nga am pour wax.
man kay lu ma wax Gambia moo nekk jërëjëf maa ngi lay jaajëf sakatuma laa teacher si students si BCC ñëpp maa ngi leen a wax jërëjëf because tey moom ak police band si women in uniform ñëpp teewee nañ fi tey te dama kontaan bi nga xam ne soo seetaanee suma speech bi sax dama doon jooy parce que nekkul dama doon jooy because I'm a victim of endometriosis waaye dama doon jooy because I'm a warrior plus dama kontaan suma xel xool moo feesoon feesi mbégte daal.
so naka nga mën a def ba fight case bu nga xam ne mu nekk eno
niñ ko faytee moo nekk ne ñu ngi team up ak docteur bu ñoo wax docteur Firas mu ngi MK clinic so MK clinic foofu noonu da ngaa gis ne foofu la ñoo bugg di yóbbu xale yi nga xam ne ñu ngi am feebar bii nii so docteur Firas daf leen a fay so waaye ñun suñ góol moo nekk ñu am centre fii nii biir Gambia centre bi nga xam ne képp ki nga xam ne dafa am feebar bi mun ngaa ñëw si centre bi ñu treat la ba pare jox la medication ba pare ñu teg si ñu jox la counseling bi nga xam ne yow di nga mën a wax ak ñun di nga xam ne kenn du lay jooj ba pare di nga am soldier bi nga xam ne foofu ngaa jooyee parce que loolu moo nekk suñ góol fii nii waaye right now ñu ngi team up ak docteur bu ñu ooyee docteur Firas moom private docteur la mu ngi am clinique bu ñu ooyee MK clinique so fii nii foofu lañ jël ñu dépassé fa sam xaalis bi nga xam ne xale yi nga xam ne school si gaal si nga xam ne ñoo kool naan suma biir bi dafa métti yooyu ñu yóbbu ko si docteur Firas su ko defee kooku mu faj leen.
so what is your last message.
My last message moo nekk ne yaay please ñaan naa leen ngir yàlla bàyyi leen xel seen doom yi jigéen ñi papa yi tamit nekkal leen fa seen doom yi jigéen ñi brothers yi bàyyi leen xel seen sisters yi ak jëkkër yi su fekkee yaa ngi si sa jabar mu ngi experience pain nekkal ko fa ba pare su fekkee ne juróolu la doom mu ñal ko te nga xam ne yàlla mooy maye ba pare na feebar bi mun na koo tere am doom mun na koo ñàkk tere am doom waaye daal ñu bàyyi xel suñ xale yi suñ ndaw yu jigéen ñi bu baax a baax ba pare góor yi nekkal leen fa seen jëkkër yi seen jabar yi ba pare ngeen muñal leen te yàlla tax.
Fatou ñu ngi kontaan jërëjëf si loo ñu teral tey ak programme boo def nii so ñu ngi jaajëfal képp ku bëgg a seetaan lii dugal suñu page bi Gambia Talent TV dinañ la won everything te feebar bi mu ngi nekkal li nga xam ne tamit lu garaaw la tey nag maa ngi ñaan suma morom yi suma yaay suma mag yi ñëpp ñu déglu lii nga xam ne mooy programme bi ne ñu jëfandee ko faj suñu boppa Gambia dem si kanam jërëjëf.
Thank you.
Gambian Talents Promotion.
Jaliba Manding.
Corona muna muto nyaledi. Nkaljalolu nada kanyine badie. Animfana mwa miliyon jama. Wale pengo ke kakolo bayi. Wangolu kan. Nte jaliba fere ninjalolu nada. Ninjalolu nada kanyine senendadi.
Jali nene suso Mandinka.
Fankanta manjawuya. Se fankanta yesi nyolu kanta. Ninna fa fomu fankanto leti. Alungata.
Wala.
Nangi domu adama vaccine neng. Corona lu amla.
fagaro gen fajo ajalel ñu dem vaccine moy li ñuy
Lena Jola
Pengu way engole no tekan wajubo de ni laya ubaj mo ja COVID-19 Pengu way engole no esontene bare petanka yi COVID-19
Jankaro ni manita Alinga katanga vaccine onyinta Soyons sérieux avec ces vaccins Si on se donne la main Fonsil tanka ni courant
Mandinka
Alingata Me vaccine me batuka Allah Alingata Wale bentankala Na Alingata Me vaccine me batuka Allah Alingata Wale bentankala
Tata dinding Mandinka
Pengota nyinengangari Pengota wale yandandi Kama koi kantaga Imi ime Yeto yemo Leki kingari jana Nagor kuma debo ime Joni Undandari
Jakos Manjago
Konora ninja Legi yange kabu kobula Kutopu yaka jeji binguwa Yaka purpu kabu buru
Alu Badara Wolof
Kuni anga warugal